Welcome to the Patriot Angle Podcast, a show about America's truth, unhinged, unfiltered, raw. Your host, Mike Gardner.
Seniors. We're pleased to be joined on this occasion by Secretary of Health and Human Services Alex Azar and Administrator of Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services Seema Verma. Thank you both. And thank you all for being here. Appreciate it. The unprecedented reforms we're completing today are the direct result of the historic drug pricing executive orders I signed in July. Statutorily, we had to go through a very long process, and we got it done. I was very proud to have gotten this done. We were pushing it very hard, as we did with the vaccines and other things. The first action will save American seniors billions of dollars by preventing middlemen, famous middlemen they call them, from ripping off Medicare patients with high prescription prices. Currently, drug companies provide large discounts on the price of prescription medicines, including nearly $40 billion in rebates to Medicare Part D plans last year alone. Yet often middlemen stop those discounts from going to the patients, which is what we're interested in, not the middlemen, who need it the most. So the patients are going to be now getting the benefit instead of these very wealthy individuals. Patients pay very high prices, and they have for many years, although we brought it down, first time in 51 years, with the costs adding up to hundreds or even thousands of dollars per year per patient. Today's action ends this injustice and requires that these discounts go directly to people. These are the people that need it. This will save patients up to 30%. Could be 40%, could be 50%, could be much higher than that. These are numbers that nobody's ever even contemplated. And that doesn't include life-saving drugs like insulin, which will be even higher. Insulin was destroying lives and destroying families because the cost was so high, and now it's at a level that nobody can even believe. Is that correct, Seema? $35 a month, from many times that number. The second rule we're finalizing today will transform the way the U.S. government pays for drugs to end global freeloading on the backs of American citizens and American patients. Until now, Americans have often been charged more than twice as much for the exact same...
Okay. So we got some good prices going on here. I just heard President Trump just announcing he's going to lower prescription drugs, which is good. Got to get rid of the middleman, so to speak. That's some good stuff. I tell you, that's some really good stuff. But, you're not going to hear that on the mainstream media. What you're going to hear on the mainstream media is nothing but rubbish, garbage, and just crazy nonsense. You look at today, what is going on today? That's some good news. It's some really good news. What we hear from the Trump administration, they want to lower drug pricing. They want to lower drug costs altogether. We've been hearing that for, literally, since the beginning of his administration, with just everything. It's going to cut out the middleman. Of course, it's going to cut out the middleman. It's going to cut out just everything to begin with. But you know what they want to do? They want to the far left, and this is my opinion on it. The far left, they want to basically destroy the Medicare and Medicaid, basically destroy the entire ordeal to begin with. That's just their terminology. They want to raise everything, including drug prices. They want to basically put a brand new law in it when it comes to abortions. You're allowed to terminate the pregnancy right literally at the 8th or ninth term of your pregnancy. To me, that's murder, folks. Whether you want to look at it or not, that's just straight up murder. You're gonna destroy a newborn life. You're committing murder. It's just simple as that. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's what it is. You're committing murder. But back to the drug pricing. So Trump wants to basically lower the drug prices. He wants to abolish Obamacare, which is a disaster in this country. You look at Obamacare. If anybody's in favor of Obamacare, you got to be an idiot. You really do. You got to be a fool or an idiot to believe the system's going to work. For 8 years, for the first 8 years, you had to pay a mandate of a price. If you didn't have health insurance, you would have to pay anywhere between 5 to 10% of your previous year of earnings. So say, for instance, somebody's making roughly like $30,000 a year. You don't have health insurance. You would have to pay a 5% mandate. I mean, that's crazy. That's the most idiotic thing I have ever heard in my entire life. That you have to pay a mandate on drugs. On insurance. Oh, you don't want health insurance? Oh, you still have to pay a mandate. Oh yeah. The radical left. That was their little scheme for the first 8 months or 8 years, excuse me, of the Obama administration. But that's good that the Trump administration is rolling out these new laws to help people with even pre-existing conditions. Try saying that to the Democratic committee. They won't even roll out anything. Hell, they won't even roll out simple things to help out people in a time of a crisis that we're going through. But with that being said, folks, welcome to today's show. Welcome to another edition to the Patriot Angle. Got a lot to talk about today on today's show, and we'll be right back after these words. You don't want to go anywhere.
In July, the Trump administration, as part of Operation Warp Speed, agreed to provide Pfizer with $1.95 billion to manufacture and distribute their COVID vaccine, allowing this vaccine to be provided free for the American people. While Democrats were pursuing a highly divisive and entirely baseless impeachment endeavor as far back as January 13th, this president, the Trump administration, and the National Institute of Health was partnering with Moderna and working on this vaccine for the American people. But that's not all. This administration has remained engaged on the development and distribution of a safe and effective vaccine throughout the year. Began in January and continued thereafter. On May 15th, Operation Warp Speed was launched. On September 16th, we released 2 documents outlining a strategy to deliver a safe and effective vaccine. These documents were the strategic distribution overview and the interim playbook for state, tribal, territorial, and local health programs and partners. On September 23rd, we provided $200 million to jurisdictions to support plans for eventual distribution. On October 14th, we provided $31 million to Sitvia for vaccine-related consumable products. On October 16th, we made agreements with CVS and Walgreens to administer vaccines to residents of long-term care facilities. On October 21st, under the PrEP Act, we issued guidance authorizing qualified pharmacy technicians to administer the vaccine. On October 30th, we announced that McKesson Corporation will produce, store, and distribute vaccine ancillary supply kits on behalf of the Strategic National Stockpile to help healthcare workers who will administer the vaccines. And on November 12th, we announced the partnership with large chain pharmacies and independent regional ones to deliver safe and effective vaccines. The unprecedented... All
right. Put it on pause there. Did you just hear that? She just gave you a whole, basically, timeline of what's been going on since May. Since May, folks. You've had this administration since May up until like about a week ago, right? About a week ago. Basically giving you the whole coronavirus timeline of what this administration's been going and basically doing, right? So what is this here? This is reported out of NBC News. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a shocker. So what they're going to do, folks, is by the time this gets back to their anchors, they'll probably basically edit it out and they'll say, oh, the Trump administration didn't do nothing until May. Until May. Oh, he didn't do nothing until May. Oh, yeah. And, Mr. Potato Head of CNN will probably say the same thing, too. Mr. Potato Head. Yeah, got to put the potato on the top of your head there, buddy. And then you'll see. Oh, we can't edit it out because McNanny, she's always going to favor Trump because she's a Trump woman. Yeah. They're just doing that, folks, because they're trying to get Trump reelected. Yeah, full of shit. These people are the most full of shit people ever since I've ever heard in my entire life. They're basically, folks, giving you a timeline from May to at least November. So you see May, June, July, August, September, October, November. That's 7 months, folks. 7.5 months of timelines since what Trump has done. You look back in May, they start negotiating with Pfizer. Pfizer is probably the most top leading companies of agencies out there that's willing and ably trying to launch basically a vaccine to the American people so they can end this whole charade. Because if anybody is getting tired of masks, and I know everybody's getting tired of masks, y'all can raise your hand out there and the virtual audience of my podcast here, and everybody can agree masks are basically getting a little old. Even the people that mandate the masks, they understand the bullshit scenario of this whole ordeal. And I'm sorry for all you liberals out there. Oh, yes. Mike just said a curse word. Oh, boo-hoo. Listen, folks, I don't read off of a teleprompter. I don't read off of a script. I'm not sleepy Joe Biden that has to make sure where the hell he's at half the time, because half the time he doesn't know where the hell he's at. They got to remind him every single time. Hey, Joe, you're going to be in Las Vegas. Hey, Joe, you're going to be in Detroit. Hey, Joe, by the way, you got a meeting in Atlanta. Oh, I do? Oh, God, I forgot. I thought I was still in Scranton, Pennsylvania. Yeah, I'm not Joe Biden. He doesn't know where the hell he's at half the time. Modern medication won't even make that man alert. But anyway, back to what I was saying. What you need to understand is, all you liberals out there, this is an administration that's willingly and ably going to provide for the American people for the next 4 years. 4 years. You're not going to see that under a Biden-Kamala Harris administration. First of all, what you're going to see is Sleepy Joe is going to have to make sure he gets all his permissions from the deep state, which is, the bartender from Queens, AOC. He's going to have to get permission from Mr. Potato Head from CNN, Chris Cuomo, and then he's going to have to get permission from the other nitwits over there in the far left radical media of Fox News. Yeah, believe it or not, Fox News. Folks, I had to turn Fox News off a couple weeks ago. They are the most biased network out there right now. Fox News, for all I know, has basically jumped ship for so many years. So many years. They were so positive with just the way they orchestrated their news. Now all of a sudden it's like, oh, we can't say it now. Everybody's afraid to say things now. Oh, we have to have permission. Oh, we have to have this. We have to do this. We have to do that. You know what I say? Up a da bada, huh? Yeah, that's an old Irish term. Up a da bada, yeah. Back to you guys. If you want to know what the hell it is, you can look it up for all you millennial nut jobs out there. You can Google it, because that's all you do is Google things. With that being said, folks, thank you for joining today's podcast. We got a lot more to say, but right after these words, you're not going to want to miss this. Be right back.
Of your Spotify inbox. You know those frustrating times when you hear a great song, but you don't know who the artist is? Well, thanks to the good people at SoundHound, you can find out in seconds and then listen to the track on Spotify. Download the SoundHound app and you can whistle, hum, speak lyrics, whatever it takes for SoundHound to recognize the track. Then just tap play in Spotify to listen to your heart's content.
Hey, folks, back to the show. I know a lot of people don't like when I take breaks. They like to hear what I do, what the show's about, the Patriot Angle. It's like, they're like, Mike, why do you take so much breaks? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? Well, I wish I could talk forever. I wish I could talk forever. But the platform here, they like to keep us at a certain point. I mean, if I could, I'd talk for you for 5-6 hours. I mean, but there's a lot of podcast hosts out there that hell they can't even do 20-30 minutes. They're tuckered out. They need a glass of water. No, not me. No, I'm up here. I get it done. I talk to the American people. I listen to what they're saying. But by the way, if you ever want to hear just maybe a new segment, something new I haven't done yet on the show. You want to see something new, right? Something new. Go to my Facebook page, The Patriot Angle. Drop me a message there. I don't do all the social platforms. I don't do Bumble. I don't do Zumble. I don't do what's the other ones? I don't know the other ones, but I don't do all those. I just leave it for Facebook. Facebook, and then of course the podcast is listed on basically every major platform out there. Of course, Anchor, proud Anchor here. Anchor's been good to us over the last year here. It's been giving us a lot of good audience, a lot of good stuff. But you can also listen to me basically anywhere, wherever you hear a podcast, on Google, Apple, Spotify, just about everywhere. You open that app and, basically there I am, But what we're talking about, folks, today is we're trying to get into this whole, this saga here of coronavirus and, how it's been, affecting everybody's lives. It's affect my lives, my life. You can't go out, obviously you can't go out and you got to put a muzzle over your face like you're in a third world hellhole. I mean, the last time I checked, I looked up and I always see American flags. I don't see flags from a third world nation. To me, this is still America. But the radical left, the Democrats, they want to turn this into a utopia, folks. They want to turn this into a socialized or a communism of a country. That's what they want to do. They want to make this either into communism, China, or they want to make this into another socialist country. But like I said it in other episodes, other podcast episodes. What has that done to Venezuela? You look at Venezuela, it was probably like the most beautifulest country in the world, right? The prettiest country in the world, right? What is it now? There's people on streets literally selling their shoes for food. Oh yeah, it's true. Look at Cuba. Cuba used to be beautiful 60, 70, 80 years ago before Castro turned it into a hellhole, and it still is. They're still trying to struggle into having their independence. There's no independence, folks. See, that's what socialism does. It rips your independence away. It rips your freedoms away. It rips everything you hold dear to your heart. And that's what these radical Democrats want to do. They want to control people. See, the masks... See, that's what the thing is. See, that's what you won't hear this on CNN. You won't hear this. Hell, you won't even hear this on Fox 5 or CBS or any other mainstream media outlet. You won't hear that. The only thing you will hear about the truth is on podcasts such as myself, maybe Hannity. I know Hannity's good. He'll say it on his show from time to time. You'll hear it on the Hodgson twins. Oh, God, you got to hear those two. They're a riot, those two. Sorry, Hannity. Sorry, Hodgson twins. I'm stealing your material, but that's okay. It's America, right? Yeah. You'll thank me in the end when your ratings go up about 10%, right? Anyway, you won't hear that. You won't hear that on all these other platforms as the mainstream. You'll hear it on podcasts because the podcast, folks, that's the next best thing. Give it about 15 years, probably less than that. And radio show hosts such as CNN, Mr. Potato Head over there, Chris Cuomo. Yeah, he's got a brother up in New York. Yeah, Yeah, that's the dictator that runs New York City. Yeah, you could look at New York City. I'm from New York City originally. Oh God, I'm ashamed of my city. It's gone to hell. All the restaurants are closed. You can't go in restaurants now. You got to do the curbside, or you got to do the delivery through Uber Eats or some kind of delivery app. No, you can't. You can't even sit down in a 5-star restaurant with your family, or you want to bring a woman that you just met, like a nice little honey or something to it. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that anymore. No, you can't do that anymore. No, you got. No, you can't do that. No, they have outdoor seating, but what the hell is that going to do when you're in the middle of December, January in New York City, and you want to sit down in New York City? It's 25 degrees outside. You're looking at your woman, and you're across the street, and you're like, honey, are you okay? No, I'm cold. I can't even sip my Mai Tai because it's 25 degrees. This is the sick world we live in. And these dictators of governors and mayors, they're like influencing it into government. Yeah. This is the America. This is this brand new utopia they want to roll out. They want to roll this out. They want to roll this out into America. They want to influence people that, the mask that you're wearing on your face, not only does it protect other people, yes, it protects you, but you're wearing that mask to protect the other person. Okay. Yeah, I got to wear a mask to protect somebody else. Yeah. But when you go into other areas, other states, do you see them wearing masks? No, because of common sense. They understand how it works now. They understand what this whole coronavirus, this whole saga, this whole scenario, what it's basically been rolling out. They understand that this whole COVID-19, this whole thing from at least March of this year, right? I mean, I'm not a mathematician, but I mean, you play down the months, What did we hear, folks, first? I'm a little jumping the gun. I'm sorry. I'm a little heated today. Yeah, I'm a little heated today. It's okay. But what did we hear the first time when COVID came out? Folks, we have to give the 30-day curve. The 30-day curve. We got to flatten the curve by 30 days. Then what did it go from 30 days, folks, right? It went up to 60 days. We got to have 60 days. We had to have Nimrod, Dr. Fauci over, saying, don't. Folks, the CDC recommends 60 days. Folks, the CDC recommends 120 days. What is it? Is it 60? Is it 30? I'm confused by this point. Then it was, phase one, the restaurants have to be closed down because everybody's going to breathe on each other and get sick. Folks, where the hell are we living at? Are we living in an Earth? Did I go through a time zone or something? I mean, am I living in the ancient ruins of Giza in 1453? A lot of people are like, Mike, what are you talking about? Oh, that's certain history that people don't know. See, that's okay, because you try to explain this to a millennial, they'll look at you all sideways, all different directions and everything. They look like a robot. Well, half the people that you meet today, they look like robots. But, with that being said, I want to play this soundbite into the show here. This is Kaylee here. Oh, beautiful Kaylee. She's basically, saying, just what her administration has been basically trying to overdo with the bias media. You got to listen to this because, before Kaylee, we had another one, right? That didn't work out. But this press secretary Kaylee Managany, she's actually pretty good. She's tough too. She's tough as nails. Good looking woman. Don't get me wrong, good looking woman, but she's tough as nails. Oh God, you're gonna hear this. This is the biased media. Of course they're biased. They haven't been positive in probably about 25 years. But this is basically the biased media attacking Kaylee, the press secretary under the Trump administration. They don't even announce him as the president anymore. It's just Trump now, or Donald Trump. Now everything is President-elect Biden. Yeah, Sleepy Joe Biden. Yeah, you got to hear this, folks. It's crazy. But anyway, folks, this is excuse me. Got a tickle in my throat. Well, I got a tickle in my throat. You ever heard that song? No. Anyway, this is the press secretary here. You got to listen to her. Oh boy, she's good.
Has anyone from the White House spoken with GSA, with the director of GSA, about the timing of ascertaining who the next president will be, and has any pressure been applied to her?
Absolutely not. GSA will make the determination of ascertainment at the right moment. Right now, there's a constitutional process that's being played out. There are questions being asked in court, but the GSA will determine when ascertainment is reached.
Can I just ask one other question, which is Senator Lamar Alexander today has put out a statement encouraging the Trump administration, in the absence of ascertainment, to begin allowing the Biden team full access to everything they need for a transition, access to agencies, access to real-time data.
Let me just stop it right there, folks. I'm going to go back to it. I do promise I'll go right back to that White House press briefing. This White House press briefing, folks, this was earlier today. I'm actually playing you a soundbite that was streamed live through crazy NBC News. Yeah, they put this on their platform probably about 5 hours ago. Yeah, does it say? Yeah, about 5 hours ago, it says. Earlier today of a press briefing. Okay, did you just see the magic in the biased mainstream media? Did you see the biasness, the magic coming out? How they just did a flipperooey? Yeah, they did a flipperooey. Oh, they've been saying for weeks, right? When Trump lost, he lost in all these key states, which I still can't understand how he lost in these key states. You look at Georgia, they're still counting. Yeah, they're finding ballots in the sewers in Georgia. Can you believe that? Yeah, I guess the bums there in the streets they're using like 6-7 different identities. But yeah, that's on another note, right? But yeah, they're still finding ballots in Atlanta. They're still finding ballots in Michigan. They're still finding ballots in what was it? Pennsylvania, North Carolina. The crooked news, they won't say North Carolina because North Carolina don't matter. Yeah, Trump can have North Carolina. But have you noticed it? Just Georgia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin. Those are the states that they're really looking at, folks. But have you seen the magic in the flip of the media where they're now understanding, oh, does anybody know who's going to be the president in January? Oh. Everybody knows it's BS. Everybody knows that the Democrats stole this election. I mean, a 5-year-old in a kindergarten class can tell you that. It doesn't take a rocket scientist. But I want to talk about more things right after the soundbite. I want to get into this Dominion crap and how it's really affecting everything. Oh, you got to listen to more of what Kaylee says, and you can listen to how the biased media is going along with, oh, God, you got to listen to this.
What's the harm in doing that?
So there's a Presidential Transition Act that determines exactly what an administration needs to do in advance of an election. And we have done everything statutorily required, and we will continue to do that.
It's after the election, though.
Thank you. I have a question first, a follow-up on the transition. Has the president or anyone in the administration instructed officials not to engage or have conversations with members of the Biden?
There they go attacking again.
I've certainly never been instructed that.
Hear them attacking it? Oh, this is sick.
And my second question is about COVID. Because yesterday, a lot of what we heard from the doctors, they've been saying since the end of March. Back then, the projections were that 100,000 Americans would die. Now, as you know, we've surpassed that by 2.5 times. Did the administration fail to communicate how serious this threat was to the American people? Or how else do you explain what went wrong?
Well, I would say the initial projection that our doctors gave us was 2 million people that would lose their lives. And it's a tragedy anytime one life is lost. But
all right, stop it right there. Folks, didn't we hear for the last 5 months? We've heard for 5 months, folks, 5 months about how they stopped the projection. The projection was supposed to be set at, 2.5 million, 5.6 million. Folks, this is how sick this biased media is. They're still on this COVID crap. They're still on this whole, how come the president didn't really, go along with this? How come he didn't really, say things were going to get better, and yeah, Bert and Ernie, the Bert and Ernie news network. That's what I'm starting to call these things, folks. We all know that COVID was set up as a distraction to this election. We all know that. We all know that what went on. We all know what went on. We all knew what was going to happen in November. We knew that the mainstream media, big tech, all right, was going to create some type of scenario to outplay this election. We all knew that. We were told for months and months and months by this president that big tech was going to be was going to be involved. Big tech was going to have a big influence on this election. We all knew that, folks. We all knew. But what did we hear from the mainstream media? What did we hear? We heard from time after time, don't believe Trump, he's trying to create scare tactics. Don't believe Trump, he's trying to create this, he's trying to create that. Trump has warned us that this election not only was the election that mattered ever in the last, I'd say, about 100 years, right? This election, not only did it have a big influence on the health industry and the health of the American people, but this election, folks, it had so much with everything. Not only with healthcare, not only with this pandemic. This pandemic, folks, has changed people's lives. I mean, I'm out there every single day. I go grocery shop. I was just grocery shopping earlier today, right? Getting some things for the house. This era that we're living in, this COVID-19 era that we are currently living in right now in the United States, has changed drastically for so many different types of people. So many different types of people. You can't even go out, folks, without wearing a mask, or I say a muzzle on your damn face. People attack you for not wearing a mask. If you don't wear a mask, they're looking at you like you're a third world entity, ready to kill somebody. I mean, that's how sick and deranged we are. We are living in a hellhole. If you don't know what hell looks like, you ought to look out your window and take a broad look on the life we are living in. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy what we're living through. We're living through some crazy dark times. But, you know, they said the same thing when, 1918, when they had the Spanish flu, you know. Was it drastic then? I think it was drastic then, but it wasn't as drastic as what we're living through now. I mean, we're like I said, we're living through some crazy times. We're living through hatred. We're living through some probably the highest counts of racism that we've ever lived through, you know. Now it's like we have questions. There's a lot of people that have questions for this COVID-19 era, you know. You have a question. Oh, you can't say anything? Oh, but they're allowed to say stuff, but we're not allowed to say anything in return? Come on, man. Right? Right? That's what Sleepy Joe says. Come on, man. But, you know, who's to say things will get better for 2021? I hope so. I hope so. I hope so, because we're going down a dark path. We're going down a dark path. There's a lot of things happening right now. Right now, it's the beginning of the dark winter. It is. We are now in the beginning of a dark winter, folks. And things will only get worse. They'll only get worse before they get better. Right now, they're still talking about COVID. They're still blaming the president that he should have acted quick. I mean, did he act quick or not? I thought he did. I thought he did. He was advised by his senior advisors in his administration that you need to close down the border. You need to close down this. You need to close down that. Did he act upon his from his advisors? Sure he has. Sure he has. But yet they still criticize him for it. I mean, this is excuse me. This is getting too much. This is getting too much. You had President-elect Biden earlier today, now saying that Trump is acting immaturely towards this virus. But yet again, Biden thinks that he's gonna build back stronger. He's gonna build back stronger. Yeah. Biden's words is that he wants to kill COVID before he opens up an economy. What the hell does that mean? How the hell can? All right. He wants that's his words. I'm just going by what he says. He wants to kill COVID, and then he says, "I'll reopen the economy." What, Joe? Hold on. Let me I gotta put my thinking cap on. Remember that back in the day, where your grandma, your mother said, "You gotta put your thinking cap on." Yeah. Hold on, Joe. Say that one more time. You want to kill COVID and then reopen the economy. Wait, what the hell does that mean? Kill COVID? You gonna kill it with what? A bee swapper? A arrow spray? I mean, how you gonna kill it, Joe? I don't understand that. Do you even understand what you're saying? I don't know. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I don't know what goes on with his crazy mind. I don't. I'm sure his wife must think, highly of him. But folks, this is supposedly what America voted in, right? Joe Biden, right? I mean, this is supposed to be America's lethal weapon, right? I mean, right? I mean, is this the second best thing from Trump? I don't know. America doesn't even know. I mean, maybe I should go into the woods or something and ask a couple of wildlife in there. Hey, Mr. Deer, what's going to happen in America next year? No one knows. No one knows. No one knows. But I do know one thing, and I can tell you right now, because I'm going to be closing out my show here in a couple minutes. I do tell you one thing, folks. We are in a very, very, and I'm going to say this. It's true. You heard Biden say, "Oh, this is the beginning of the dark winter." We are, folks. This is the beginning of the dark winter, and it's only going to get worse and worse and worse, because folks, they don't have a plan. This new administration, hopefully, if all the states get their their cojones in order, they'll understand what's happening, folks. They don't have a plan. They don't have no agenda of opening this country up. They have no agenda with this COVID-19 crap. They have no agenda with the mask mandate. That's only going to get worse at that. I think that this country has basically destroyed itself after November 3rd of this year. It had. It spoke for its truth. I mean, you get ballots that you're finding in sewers. I mean, did you hear the story? What was it, a couple months ago from when the early voting started? Military ballots that were basically signed and voted for President Trump. Military ballots that were found in a dumpster. This is what's going on. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Can't make this stuff up. But does the fake news say that? No. They keep on talking about COVID and how Trump is how Trump is this and Trump is that, But who am I to say anything, Oh, if I say something, I'll just oh no, you're wrong. You're considered a racist or a bigot. That's the country we live in today. That's the country we live in, That being said, folks, we got one more segment here I want to plug in here before we run out of time, because I'm looking at the time here. I'm looking at Anchor as Anchor, the editors here on Anchor, they're giving me like the thumbs up here, and they're telling me, "Okay, Mike, we're going to give you an extra 10 minutes." I appreciate that, but like I said, I got one more segment here I want to plug into the show, because I know the next show I'm not going to have enough time. But, that's on another side note. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone.
Thank you for listening to the Kitchen Angle podcast. I want to say thank you to my loyal listeners out there. Seeing a lot of viewership on the Spotify app, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, just about every podcast platform out there. Thank you. Thank you for choosing to listen to us here on the Kitchen Angle. This show is growing into a big margin. It really is. And very, very soon, we will be launching a new Facebook page. Yes, that is correct, folks. The Kitchen Angle will have another home, Facebook. Will be coming soon, very, very soon. It's actually in the works. My handlers are helping me out create a page for you, the viewer. And on this page, it's all on you. If you want suggestions added to the show, drop a comment on Facebook there, or leave me a message through Messenger there. It's all on you. Anything you want to hear on the show, maybe something I'm not speaking directly about, or something that you don't want me to speak, okay, that's go both ways. Hey, that's you. You know, you the viewer, I'm leaving this for you on my Facebook page, The Kitchen Angle, which will be launching very, very soon. Okay? Also, you can hear all my shows on the Kitchen Angle Facebook page, which will be very, very soon added onto. And usually about an hour after I do my podcast, they are launched everywhere, including iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you hear a podcast, it will be launched within an hour. That's right, folks. So, as always, thank you for tuning into the Kitchen Angle podcast. And we'll see you on the next one. Alrighty, I'm back here. Got a couple more things here I talk about. Oh boy, I know we got a lot of topics today. I don't know. Anybody want to hear about COVID? I sure as hell don't. When's it going to be over? When's the muzzles going to come off of our face? I didn't know we were German Shepherds, but it's all right, I guess. Anyways, yeah, we're a bunch of German Shepherds with a bunch of muzzles on our face. Yeah. Even the dogs are looking at us kind of funny, you know? Like, you go outside, you go to walk your dog, you see somebody with a mask over their face. You know, the dog, even when it gets done taking a crap and it takes a piss, it probably goes, what the hell's going on? And the dog is probably, surprised, doesn't know what's going on. No one knows what's going on in this world today. God, I'm telling you, this place is going crazy. I'm telling you. But did you see the press conference here from Ice Cream Pelosi? Oh boy, you should have heard Ice Cream Pelosi here on the press conference here. This was earlier today. This is probably about maybe 5-10 hours ago. Oh, gotta hear it. Oh boy, here she is. You can't even understand a word she's saying because she's got her blue and white polka dot. It looks nice. Yeah, the blue. Oh, look. Look, I'm looking at. I know you can't see it because it's an audio podcast. By the way, folks, we will have video podcasts in the near future. Building up the Patriot Angle studio. Probably about February, March, the Patriot Angle studio will be opened for business, so to speak. And you will see video podcasts from time to time for the podcast here. Those who want video podcasts, or the people that just prefer the audio podcast of what I'm doing. But you got to look at the video here of Nancy with her matching blue business suit that has the blue and the white polka. Oh, God, she's matching. It's like a little girl going to school. You got to make sure you got the matching set, right? You got to listen to her. I'll try to turn it up as loud as I can, folks, because you can't really hear it. Because that's how she sounds underneath the mask. Listen, you got to listen to it. Here we go.
For the sacrifices they made.
Hear it?
For our freedom. This year, we won't be able to be joining in the traditional way, but virtually we'll come together to thank God for our blessings. As we do so, though, with great pain, in this course of this year,
Sounds like Beaker from the Muppet Babies.
250,000 have lost their lives to the coronavirus.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Daily cases have averaged over 160,000 in this past week. Hospitalizations have set a national record for 3 days
boy,
in a row.
I tell you.
And over 11 million, it's 11.7 million.
What do they get at announcing this every day? Like, what is it doing? I don't understand. By announcing cases after cases, what's going on?
Economic front, 20 million Americans are on unemployment.
Oh.
With the benefits soon set to expire, and millions have fallen into poverty.
Put it on pause right now. Put it on pause. Oh, 11 million people are on unemployment right now. Yeah. Hey, Nancy, this is coming from your own district in, San Francisco of California. Yeah, the district that you run, that you let go down the tubes about, I don't know, but 7-10 years ago, right? Yeah, their unemployment, Nancy, is because you and other nitwit leaders of your district, you keep places that are closed because you guys are more like dictators than leaders. Yeah, people are unemployed, Nancy. You forget to tell this to the media, right? People are unemployed, Nancy, because you won't allow the businesses to reopen. Yeah, that's why people are unemployed. That's why people have to close up shop. Yeah. You don't say that. Continue.
And face the threat of eviction. Now, this is what is in our hearts. Sadly, our some of the things that we do regularly, but especially at Thanksgiving, to minister to those who are
Oh, now they're going to talk about the Thanksgiving. Oh, you got to listen to this.
Actually be possible, but nonetheless, we must try. We are in a full-blown economic and health catastrophe, and it's amazing to see the patience the GOP has for other people's suffering.
There they go talking about the administration. See, this is the democracy, folks, we live in. This is the democracy we live in. This is a sick woman, probably what is Nancy, like 78, 76? Oh, here she is again.
In a few weeks, we'll observe the 8th anniversary of Sandy Hook. 8 years ago, we saw the unspeakable horror.
Nancy, what are you doing? You're jumping gun here, sweetheart. You're going from the pandemic to Sandy Hook. That was like years ago. Stay on point. God, you're worse than Joe.
The Republicans just brushed it off.
Oh, boy.
Shall pass. Several months ago...
I can't hear the Beaker. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be mean, but that's what she sounds like, Beaker from the Muppet Babies.
All over the world poured on into the streets for days and in some cases weeks, but Republicans ignored that.
There she goes talking about Trump again. See, they talk about one thing and she's attacking the president again.
This too shall pass.
Yeah.
Now 250,000 Americans, as I mentioned, are dead. The number's rising. Over 6 months ago, when we passed the HEROES Act, Leader McConnell said, we need a pause. We need a pause. Well, I would hope that for him, the pause can come to an end.
I hope you come to an end soon. We don't need you in office, Nancy.
People have died during that pause. So we're asking him, come back to the table. A few days ago, Leader Schumer and I sent him a letter, which you've all seen, asking the Republicans to come back to the table to meet the needs of the American people, which they have been willing to ignore.
All right, first, let me put it on pause here. What she's basically telling you folks is that she's showing you a letter, right? And she won't see. This is Nancy at her best. This is average Nancy, right? You ever heard of Average Joe? Yeah, this is a female version. This is average Nancy. This is average Nancy, what she does best. This is Nancy at her best here. She just picks up a piece of paper, then she puts it down. She won't tell you what's on the piece of paper. The paper's probably from the GOP anyway, telling them constant after constant after constant negotiation with the Trump administration. They've been trying to negotiate with this woman for God knows how many years now, 3.5, almost 4 years, right? God forbid if this woman negotiates with Trump with the CARE Act. We were supposed to see the CARE Act back in August. Did anybody get a second stimulus? I sure as hell didn't. But this is this woman here. She is talking about how Trump is not negotiating with her with everything that's been put on the table. Actually, it's the other way around. It's the flipperooey. It's the flipperooey, the monstruni, right? This is the woman that doesn't tell you the truth. I mean, I don't even think this woman said one bit of fact or truth in this whole press conference. A 5-year-old can sit on the couch and listen to this woman, understand, Mommy, this woman isn't talking the truth. Mommy, this woman doesn't make sense. Yeah. This is the America we live in. But, it's okay. I guess the liberals are going to believe every word she says. And that's what's going to happen. America will go down the tubes in 4 years. Sleepy Joe will probably be voted out by his own administration, by his own Democrat Party. You'll have Kamala Harris sworn in as president by March. I'm telling you right now, mark it. Mark this show. What's today? Today is November 20th, right? Yeah, November 20th. Mark this on the show. November 20th of the Patriot Angle podcast. You heard it on my show, okay? Mark this on the show. Because in March, and 5 to 6 months from now, right? Yeah, give or take, you'll see it. Nancy will be, and Kamala Harris will step in as the president because Biden is not fitted for president. Even Nancy Pelosi even said that. Crooked Nancy. Oh, God, yeah, you got to listen to that. I'll plug that probably into the show tomorrow or the next week over. Even Nancy Pelosi is trying to invoke the 25th Amendment, folks. She's trying, this was all preordained. This was all preordained and pre-planned by the Pelosi machine. The Pelosi machine, the Kamala Harris ordeal. Kamala Harris, even Joe Biden, when he was campaigning, said a Harris-Biden administration. Did you hear it? I heard it several times. It's going to happen. Oh, listen to crazy Nancy. What's she saying now? She's going to attack a Trump. Watch. Here we go. Oh, where did Nancy go? Oh, there she is.
We want to again add to that meeting the food needs. 17 million children in America are food insecure.
Tell them why. Tell them the truth, Nancy. Tell them why they're insecure. Tell them why the 7.5 million children in this country are food insecure, which I don't even think is a word. Do we have a Webster's dictionary? I got to fact check Nancy.
Okay, have a
food insecure. You don't make sense. You're starting to act like Joe.
Unless the rent is paid, people are not going to be able to stay in their homes.
Now she's talking about how people can't pay rent. She's bibber battering. She's not telling you the truth.
It has become clear in the past 6 months that we needed more PPP to help our small businesses.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Let's work that in as we have tightened our belt any number of times in our Heroes Act. And
turn this off. Turn this garbage off. Turn it off. I don't want to hear her anymore. God, Jesus Christ. Go back to your mansion and take out your $7,000 gelatos out of your $25,000 refrigerator. No one wants to hear you anymore. You speak gibberish. You blame the president for everything. Oh, he should have acted sooner. He should have closed the country down. But what did Nancy do? Nancy back in, I don't know, what was it, back in March, February, right before the pandemic hit the American coastline, right, our American shores. Nancy was in San Francisco, Chinatown, pondering away saying, it's racist if you close the country down to Chinese people, in front of Chinese people. Yeah. This was Nancy saying this about 7.5, almost 8 months ago, right before the COVID and the whole crazy scenario that we're living through right now, which, by the way, the suicide rate is an all-time high. There's people committing suicide literally every hour of the day. People are more prone to becoming alcoholics now in the COVID era. There are more people that are alcoholics, drug addicts, and everything else because of what's going on. Yeah, Yeah. And guess what, folks? It's all Trump's fault, right? It's all Trump's fault. That's why everything is going to hell, because it's all Trump's fault. It's all Trump's fault. It's all this, it's all that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Nancy, you should have listened to the GOP back in February, shouldn't you have, Nancy? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you should have done that instead of pondering and partying with your Chinese buddies in Chinatown in San Francisco, right? Saying that I can't say China virus. No, that's politically incorrect, right? But who the hell am I to say that? I'm not politically incorrect. I say what's on my mind. I don't care if I offend you at all. That's America. That's America. Hey, if you're not happy listening to my show, I don't force you to listen to it. You know, go listen to Chris Cuomo on CNN. Go listen to Mr. Potato Head. You could listen to them because they won't give you the truth, or hell, they won't even say something without lying, folks. This is the America that you're living in. This is what's going on. This is what we have to live through. I'm telling you right now, folks. I'm telling you right now. If you are a able-bodied American patriot, if you believe in the patriotic message, that's great. You should be. But I'm telling you right now, it's going to get worse before it gets better. It's going to get worse before it gets better. Right now, they're still on the COVID thing. Okay? Come January, that's when everything goes down the shithole, down the crap hole. Okay? Everything goes down the crap hole. Okay? First, they're still on COVID. In January, they're going to go one by one by one by one. The Pelosi machine is going to come in. They're going to attack your Second Amendment. I'm telling you right now, if you are not a registered gun owner, you might as well register right now. Pack up what you can. I'm telling you right now. Is that a threat? No, I'm not making any threats. I'm warning the American people what's going to happen if this Pelosi machine gets worse and worse. What's going to happen is that they're going to attack your Second Amendment. They're going to try to abolish the Second Amendment. Okay. Then after they go to the Second Amendment, they're going to go after free speech. Okay. They're going to censor. We're already seeing that on Facebook and Twitter. You go on Facebook right now and you try to post something on Facebook, big tech. Okay. The big tech, right? That's for all you liberals out there and you millennials. If you don't know what big tech is, that's social media, right? That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the big tech companies. They're censoring right now. If they don't like what you say, it's automatically censored, or what they call fact-checked. Basically, they're censoring you. If you don't agree to their agenda, if you don't agree to the what AOC said back, 9 months ago, the Green New Deal, folks, that's what we're living through. This is now the Green New Deal. It's part of it, okay? I'm trying to teach you guys, okay, so you understand, because I know there's a lot of listeners out there that are clueless as much as I am. Folks, I'm in it with you, okay? I'm in it for the long ride. I'm telling you right now, if you don't get smart and you follow under their agenda, things are going to get worse. Folks, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Like I said, they're going to go after your Second Amendment. After they did the Second Amendment, they're going to go after your liberties and your freedom of speech. After they do that and they're successful for that, they are going to try to control you. I'm telling you what right now, the masks, the mandates of the masks are only the beginning. It's the mark of the devil, folks. The mark of the devil. Didn't we hear that about 10 years ago? 666 on your wrist? Well, guess what? The masks are the 666. It's up to you guys. With that being said, I thank you for joining in today. And as always, you can always listen to my podcast on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, soon to be on YouTube. And also, you can hear every past and previous and current episode on the Facebook Angle Podcast. I'm Mike. I'm your host, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.
You just heard an episode of the Patriot Angle Podcast, an Anchor platform.